Hey everybody, Drew Lentz, the wireless nerd here, and today I want to talk about predictive analysis. So predictive analysis is the method in which I take information from you about your facility that you're trying to provide wireless coverage in. I run it through a design and configuration tool, and I determine where those access points need to be placed in order to provide the coverage and capacity that you're looking for as a customer. Now, predictive analysis follows that old adage of computer science and computer programming, which is garbage in, garbage out. The more information that you give me and the more accurate information that you give me, the better my predictive analysis is going to be for you. So in order to understand predictive analysis, there's basically 4 things that I need from you in order to properly design a network, more or less to get you in the ballpark of what it is that you're looking for to make sure that your customers and your clients have a wonderful experience. So those 4 things start with a floor plan. So your floor plan is number 1. And what our floor plan is going to provide is it's going to give us the ability to understand the environment in which we're working in from a physical perspective. What does the building look like? There's 4 walls, there's a couple of rooms in there, but what's important to understand is not just what those walls are and what those building materials are, but also how big they are. So the first thing that I need to understand is I need to understand the scale of this. How big are these rooms? How big is this building? Is this 10 by 10? Is it 10 by 20? Is it 20 by 40? So we can start to look at this and scale this out, and let's say it's 20 feet wide by 10 feet long, or vice versa. So we know what the scale of that is. It's important to understand that. Now, if you give me a napkin drawing of what your building is supposed to look like, and it's not scaled appropriately, that's definitely going to change the way that the coverage looks when I drop an access point in there. So scale is absolutely important. The second is building materials. And these building materials help me understand what the wireless signal is going to look like as it travels throughout your facility. So what we need to understand is, are these walls made out of cinder block or poured concrete or drywall or wood or aluminum or chicken wire? Whatever it is, we need to make sure that those walls internally and externally are properly defined. It's absolutely important that I understand that, so that I know if I put an access point in one of these locations, it's going to be able to travel, the signal's going to be able to travel where it needs to, and more importantly, I'm going to be able to hear client devices through those walls within a certain proximity. So floor plan number 1, scale and materials according to that floor plan. That's super important. Now number 2, I have to understand your users. How many users are you going to have in this building? Now, that doesn't mean overall, but what I need to look at is how many users are going to be in specific environments in this building. So let's say you have a large conference room. What I need to know is, in that conference room, do you have 5 people, 10 people, 20 people? What's the size of the room, and how many people are going to be in there? So let's say this is a conference room for 10. Now right below that, we see that there's another office, and let's say this is a conference room for 12. In here, this may be a storage closet, but in storage closets, you have to think about how many people are going to be going in there and what are they going to be doing while they're in there. Do they have handheld scanners so that they can check inventory in and out? Is there location services that need to be put in there so that you know when people go into that room or out of that room? So let's go ahead and account for 2 that go into that area. There's a pretty big area back here. This may be like a bullpen or a place where you have a lot of cubicles, like a little cubicle area. So let's say we've got about 20 users that are back in this area. Then we have a break area. That break room may feed 10 people at a time, 20 people at a time. So let's make an assessment that there's going to be 10 people out there at any given moment. You have another office over here. Looks like about 2 people sit there, maybe 2 people sit there. And then in this area, you've got restrooms. Now, don't discount restrooms, because there are a lot of customers that ask us specifically for decent Wi-Fi coverage inside those restrooms. And that may be because they're walking in while they're on a phone call. Please put that on mute. Or they're reading the news, or there's a television in there, or there's some type of sensor in there that's monitoring water valves or flow control. So we need to make sure we take that into account. So you need to think about what's happening in that area. Let's say that there's 2 users in each one of these restrooms at any given moment. We have a storage area there. We don't really need much. We'll put 1 in there. Here's an office for 4, here's an office for 2, here's an office for 2. And before you know it, you've got 10 and 12 is 22, 24, 44, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 63, 67, and 4 is 71. So let's go ahead and say we have 71 users on this network. Now, that's 71 people that are in there. So we've identified the floor plan, we've identified how big it is, what the scale of it is, what the building materials are. We've defined that there's 71 users in there, but what are those users going to be doing? The third thing that I need to understand is I need to be able to understand the applications that these users are going to be using. Now, that's important because are they using voice over IP? Are they using video? Are they doing video game design? Are they doing movie rendering? Or are they just surfing the web and, entering medical records and doing a couple of, different mundane tasks, Salesforce, whatever it is. So understanding what applications those users are going to be using in that environment is important because we want to give them the best quality experience that they have. They're the ones who judge the network and the functionality of it. They're the ones who say if it works or if it doesn't work. So no matter how well it's designed, the application level is absolutely essential to understand because that is what is going to judge that user experience. So floor plan, scale, materials, users, application. The next thing we need to understand is what devices those users are going to be using in order to access those applications. So are they going to be using handhelds, tablets, laptops? Are they going to be accessing things via smart television or projection systems? All of that's important, and it's kind of broken down into two categories. The first is devices that people will be using, such as those handhelds and tablets and laptops. Those are what are referred to as user devices. But the second has to deal a lot with the whole IoT thing. Are there TVs or thermostats or flow control valves in there? Are there things that require internet connectivity and require wireless internet access like security cameras? And where are they going to be located? So it's not just about where the users are, but what devices are the users using and what devices is the building or facility using in order to take advantage of this wireless network. So all that being said, in order to get an accurate predictive analysis, there's a couple different things that I need. I hope this was a little bit informational. Keep in mind the four things: floor plan, users, applications, devices. That's what I need in order to get you more or less what you're looking for so that you can provide a quality wireless network for your customers. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Drop a comment in the comments. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me at Wireless Nerd on the social media sites. And if you have anything else, please let me know. I'll be happy to shoot a quick video about it. Have a wonderful day.